Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Birds Caribbean is the largest conservation NGO in the Caribbean. And it's also a millennial this year because it's 32 years old. So I just wanted to give you an idea of, the kind of networking that is so important to Birds Caribbean, and it's important for us in particular as we work with the media, because we want the media to know, who we are, what we do, our diversity, the amazing range of work that Birds Caribbean gets involved in. So we try to highlight all of that in our work. And we are a network of partners, so they develop their own local forms of outreach in their own languages, in tune with their own cultures. But we, in the media working group, have to bring it all together. So we all have the same goal: to raise awareness, to raise appreciation and support the conservation of Caribbean birds and ecosystems. These are the sort of principles, guidelines that we use, and we try to continue with those as we try to keep them in mind as we work. And timeliness, obviously, we need to keep up to date with the issues that matter. Relevance, well, what does really matter in bird conservation, and the relevance might vary from time to time if we're talking about hurricane seasons or the time of year and so on. So that will vary, but we need to always make sure that we are talking about the things that are really matter to us and to our audiences. Accuracy, we always get our facts straight. Impact can be different kinds of impact. It can be something very serious. It can be something that's fun and humorous. But it must be engaging, and it must get people to think about birds and conservation. Inclusiveness, we believe in and practice diversity. The Caribbean itself is very diverse, more than people think. So we have to, bring all that into account, even in terms of language and so on. And we recently reached out with Blackbirders Week. Some of the members of that group, and that was a wonderful experience. That's just one example. Collaboration, well, we brainstorm everything. We collaborate very closely together. We're a small group, and we collaborate with others wherever necessary. Accessibility, we make sure that people can reach us in whatever way they want to, social media, etc. Innovation, and this is something that's really come to the fore in the time of COVID-19, where we've had to, we've really had to think up new ways of reaching people. Flexibility, that's another thing with COVID-19, I think. There's this expression about pivoting. So we do a lot of pivoting these days. Wherever we need to, we can switch from one form of communication to another. And it all sort of is generated really by our monthly meetings. We've been having virtual meetings for a long time. It's nothing new. It's not just a COVID thing for us, but everything stems from our monthly online meetings, and we use Google Hangouts or Zoom mostly, and we come together and chat from all over the US, Trinidad, St. Martin, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, and we thrash out ideas, we make plans, we divide our tasks, who's going to do what, and we are guided by our wonderful executive director, Lisa, who who keeps us on track at all times. And Basecamp is our online platform that we use for communication between meetings. And it's also sort of like a hub. We post documents there, to-do lists, we keep records of meetings there, and we have a database of regional media. Now, our audiences, this is a bit complicated in a way because we have our internal audience, which is obviously our scientists, conservationists, ornithologists, and our students and educators who are very engaged in bird conservation. But we also have to reach out to our Caribbean media. We have to, and we're trying to expand that a little bit. I think we need to. And young members of the public. For example, we may do a lot of, our partners may do a lot of work in schools, but we also have to look at children who are out of school and young people out of school. And members of the public with perhaps a vague interest in the environment and birds who might want to learn more. People of color and minorities, women, photographers and other creatives and other nationalities. Our photographers and creatives are often collaborators because we love to work with their skills as well, designers, artists, etc. So we also like to reach out to young people from less privileged backgrounds in the Caribbean, who are generally very excited about our work. It's almost something that's new to them. It may be outside their school curriculum. So our products are, well, press releases, obviously, blog posts which go onto our website. We try to find the most striking photographs. We're getting pretty good in the video department and expanding that area quite a bit. Short videos, longer videos. We have some ebooks, which are more in-depth articles and very attractive, very accessible. We do a lot of educational materials. We have webinars, which we've been doing again since before the pandemic. These are things that we have been doing regularly. And we have our monthly newsletter, which I urge you to subscribe to. Here are some of our products. During the pandemic, as I said, we've become much more creative in our online offerings. And we have this wonderful coloring book for the Caribbean Endemic Bird Festival, which is one of several festivals that we highlight throughout the year. And we went from the nest this year. So instead of supporting the usual in-person sort of gatherings around the islands, we had to do it all online. So this was produced by a wonderful artist whom we worked with, and with tons of information in it as well. So we also held webinars for all ages, different audiences again, including this one with a children's book on mangroves. And that webinar included a sort of little live excursion into the mangroves for kids. And we had a lovely one on parrots. Okay, our platforms, we use our website as a sort of hub, and we also have Facebook page. Our Facebook page is flourishing. It has over 8,000 followers at the moment, and it's ongoing. On Twitter, we have over 3,000 followers. As you know, these social media platforms each have a different kind of audience. So with Twitter, we have people from all over the world, Australia, India, you name it. We're all brought together by our love of birds. On Instagram, we highlight the finest examples of bird photography. We're boosting up our YouTube platform, and we have fun on WhatsApp. We have had a great deal of fun with on global big day when we shared our bird sightings online, and some of us were just on our balconies and in our yards. Storytelling and visuals are the two critical areas where we, which are sort of key fundamental strengths of ours, I think. Striking visuals, gripping stories, human interest, first-hand accounts, and the great photos to go with them. So we have, at different times of year, we have different focuses. We have our special bird festivals. We have special dates like the Caribbean Waterbird Census, for example, where we highlight and advertise different activities. And we have worked very hard on post-hurricane assistance in terms of fundraising on our platform, on a fundraising platform. And we have issues such as wildlife trafficking and threats, the ever constant, these are ongoing threats to birds and conservation in the Caribbean, including development and tourism development and so on. So we highlight all our partners, programs. We put out very positive stories. It's not all gloom and doom, but we like to highlight the great work of our partners. And these are examples of some of the things that we have done. Goat Islands in Jamaica was something that I personally was very involved in the campaign to save the islands. And they have been saved, so it was successful. It was supposed to be a mega port, and it was sort of rescued thanks to heavy lobbying of our government. So, and as you can see, we have some great positive stories here. We have the newsletter, as you know, and you can contact us anytime. We love to celebrate birds, and we also love to raise issues regarding our birds and to keep everyone up to date and engaged and interested in our beautiful birds. That's it. If you have any questions now.
Thanks, Emma.